Welcome back, brother. This content is for those genuinely interested in men's rights. It covers complex, controversial topics that may not suit a general audience. If you're not part of the men's rights community, this video isn't for you, so feel free to tune out now. I'm Conrad Riker, a writer and advocate for fairness, dignity, and respect for men. This movement isn't about division, but addressing systemic injustices in divorce, family law, and societal expectations. Inspired by hardworking men unfairly stripped of their rights, I write for balance and justice. Together we can change the narrative. Please like and subscribe if you appreciate this video, as it will help get the word out to those who need it. Thank you. Please relax and enjoy. This is an excerpt from Masculine Dominion, Balancing Strength and Compassion. Masculine Dominion, Balancing Strength and Compassion is an ebook available in all good stores. Welcome, dear reader. This book, Masculine Dominion, Balancing Strength and Compassion, is the culmination of many years of my personal journey, experiences and observations in understanding and navigating the complexities of masculinity in today's world. I've always been fascinated by the concept of masculinity and its role in society. As a man, I've faced my own share of struggles and confusions, trying to balance the often contradictory expectations of strength and vulnerability, leadership and compassion, dominion and service. These struggles led me on a path of deep introspection, biblical study, and cultural analysis to understand what it truly means to be a man in today's world. As I dove deeper, I realized that there is a lot of misinformation and confusion surrounding masculinity. Societal narratives often demonize traditional masculine traits, leading to a crisis of identity among men. This book is my attempt to provide clarity in this confusion, to help men understand their roles as stewards of the world from a biblical perspective, and to navigate the paradox of strength and vulnerability without succumbing to societal pressures. Masculine Dominion, Balancing Strength and Compassion, explores the notion of masculine leadership as part of the natural order intended by God, rejects harmful, false narratives about masculinity, and embraces the true potential of men. It develops emotional intelligence and mental toughness required in today's world, and helps understand the divine order of gender roles and the sacred role of women. This book is for men who are red-pilled, rational, and on a spiritual path, seeking to understand their roles in the world and desiring to build resilience against societal pressures. It's for those who yearn for a healthy understanding of gender roles, who want to connect with nature as a guide for developing their masculine identity, and who are prepared to step into leadership roles in their communities to build a thriving future for men and women. However, if you're not part of the target audience, I'd suggest you put down this book and take up some other hobby, or do something else with your time that you might enjoy. This book is not for those who are not prepared to question societal norms and are complacent with the status quo. There are indeed life-changing and actionable insights within these pages, and I hope you find them as enlightening and empowering as I did while writing this book. It's my sincere belief that this book can guide you on your journey of self-discovery and help you understand your purpose. Now let's begin our journey together. Remember, every step taken towards understanding is a step towards personal growth and liberation. Godspeed. With the introduction completed, we are jumping to an extract from the book. This notion of male leadership might feel outdated or even chauvinist to some individuals. Nonetheless, it's key to grasp the biblical basis for this idea. In the Bible, God bestowed mankind with control over the earth. It doesn't insinuate that men are superior to women, but rather they were designed with a particular purpose to guide, shield, supply, and take care of the world and its possessions. Only women can be mothers, and only men can be fathers. This is not a random allocation of roles, but rather a divine assignment of duties. Now, it's important to acknowledge that this concept has been distorted in modern society. Popular culture and media often portray men in a negative light, describing them with toxic traits and encouraging them to suppress their masculinity. This has led to confusion and conflict, and it's part of why we're seeing so many men struggling with their identity. But here's the thing, this doesn't have to be the narrative. Men have the opportunity to reclaim their role and use it as a foundation for understanding their responsibilities. Take historical figures, for example. Characters like King David, or even modern figures like Elon Musk, have shown that masculinity can be balanced with strength and compassion. Is this an easy feat? No. Balancing strength and compassion, assertiveness and understanding is challenging. But the alternative is to continue in this state of confusion, this clash of identity. The criticism faced by men trying to fulfill this role in today's world is substantial. It's no easy journey, and it takes a considerable amount of courage and self-reflection. But the path is clear. and the benefits are substantial. Men were created for a purpose, and fulfilling that purpose leads to a more fulfilled existence. It's a journey that requires balance, compassion, and a deep understanding of one's role. It's a journey of masculine dominion. In today's society, boys are being told that they need to be more vulnerable, that they need to show their feelings. Yet when boys do show vulnerability, they're often mocked and told to man up. This double bind creates a no-win situation for men. On one hand, they're being shamed for not being vulnerable, and on the other hand, they're being shamed for being vulnerable. This isn't just anecdotal either. There's substantial evidence suggesting that men face this double bind. A study published in the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology found that men who showed emotional vulnerability were seen as less attractive by women. This leaves men in a tough position. They're told that they need to be vulnerable and show their feelings, but when they do, they're often punished for it. This can lead to a sense of confusion and resentment. It's a double-edged sword: be vulnerable and be mocked, or don't be vulnerable and be considered emotionally unavailable. The question then becomes, how can men navigate this double bind? The first step is awareness. Men need to understand that they're in a no-win situation. The second step is acceptance. Accept that this is the reality of the situation. Finally, men need to learn how to be vulnerable in a way that doesn't make them feel like they're being emasculated. Historically, masculinity has been about strength and dominance, not about vulnerability. But this doesn't mean that men can't be vulnerable. It simply means that they need to find a way to express their vulnerability that doesn't contradict their masculinity. This is a challenge, but it's also an opportunity for men to redefine what it means to be a man in the modern world. So let's break this down further. This idea of masculine dominion extends beyond the individual. It affects society as a whole. When men are confused about their role, when they're told that they need to be vulnerable but then punished for showing vulnerability, society suffers. We see this in the high rates of depression and suicide among men. We see this in the high rates of crime and violence. We see this in the high rates of substance abuse. The confusion about masculinity is a symptom of a larger problem, a society that doesn't know what it wants from its men. This is a problem that needs to be addressed, and it starts with understanding the biblical concept of masculine dominion. Men were created with a specific purpose in mind, and it's time that they reclaimed that purpose. The path isn't easy, but it's a path that leads to a more fulfilled existence. It's a path that leads to a better society. It's a path that leads to a stronger, more compassionate world. And it's a path that starts with understanding the role that men were created to fulfill. It's a path that starts with masculine dominion. The journey of masculine dominion is one that requires courage and self-reflection. It requires an understanding of one's role in the world and a willingness to fulfill that role. It requires balance and compassion, strength and vulnerability. But most importantly, it requires a deep understanding of the biblical concept of masculine dominion. A concept that has been distorted and misunderstood, but a concept that is essential for understanding the role of men in today's world. So men, take heart. You were created for a purpose, and that purpose is one of dominion, leadership, provision, and stewardship. It's a purpose that requires strength and compassion, assertiveness and understanding. It's a purpose that can be fulfilled, and it's a purpose that leads to a more fulfilled existence. So let's embrace this purpose. Let's embrace masculine dominion, and let's create a better world. This doesn't mean that women don't have a role, or that they're inferior. As mentioned earlier, women were created with a specific purpose in mind as well. It simply means that men and women have different complementary roles, roles that, when fulfilled, lead to a more harmonious society. So let's break down this concept. Let's explore this path, and let's create a better world for ourselves and for future generations. Let's embrace masculine dominion, and let's fulfill our purpose. Thank you for listening. Thank you for your interest in masculine dominion, balancing strength and compassion, available in all good bookstores. Please like and subscribe. Thank you, and God bless.